Have you ever wondered why some people just come across as very captivating when they're on stage? People that are able to keep your attention and keep you engaged when you're listening to them. Hey guys, in today's video, I'd like to talk to you about a charisma trait called presence. This forms part of a video series that I'm doing on the different types of traits that a charismatic presenter has and how to develop them. Today I'd like to talk to you about presence and how we can boost our presence so that when your audience is listening to you, they're really listening to you, they're hanging on your every word and they're enjoying their presentation. I literally just got off the line with one of my clients, and we were talking about this concept of, being able to manage our anxieties, being able to manage our frustrations. And it was a really interesting conversation because this client was talking to me about how, they're doing all the good stuff, they're doing the meditations, they're doing the work, they're doing the growth work, they feel like they're evolving, but they're still getting caught up in anxiety, they're still getting caught up in fears. And sometimes what we do is we get caught up in the idea of perfectionism rather than process. So we spoke about this concept of the thinker and the observer. Now, what do I mean? I believe, and literally this is the secret, I think, to have presence, I believe you have to be present. Presence equals present. And I believe that the secret to really, really captivating your audience is to just be present. Now, how do we do that? That's the question. So let's look at the idea quickly of the thinker and the observer. Now we know that we have the ego, and the ego, I believe, is the thinker. All right. The thinker is the part of you that's always thinking thoughts. Now, what disconnects us from being present is when we get caught up in the thinker. So when you're on stage, are you present to this present moment, or are you caught up in your thoughts? Now, the secret for us is to understand that we are not our thoughts. To step away from identifying with the thinker, because the thinker comes from the past, it comes from resentments and anger from the past. It is, we've spoken about this in other videos where the thinker really, the sole purpose of the thinker is to solve problems, and it finds problems everywhere. So the thinker is always going to be looking for problems. Okay, the thinker is always going to be there, always going to be looking at solving issues that might come up. So let's bring into awareness that we can't control the thinker, all right? We just need to know that we are not the thinker. We are not our thoughts. Our identity is not the thoughts. So this could be the first tip for you, is before going on stage or before presenting yourself in any way, maybe sit down with your journal and just become aware of what that internal dialogue is. What are some of those thoughts? What are the problems? What are the fears that are coming up that the thinker is trying to solve? Now remember, the thinker is always in the past or it's in the future. Okay, what happens if they don't like my presentation? What happens if they never invite me back? Bring awareness, because this is one of the characteristics really of being a present speaker, is that you are in awareness. You're in awareness of who you are, which brings us to the observer. Now, the observer, I believe, is connected to your truth. It's connected to the presence, the present moment. It is who you are. Okay? Now, in order to have presence, we need to feel and we need to own our true nature. Owning who we authentically are and being it. My client said to me, oh, that's all good and well that we have these two concepts, really interesting, but how do we bridge and how do we bring everything into alignment? So the question is, if this side of the bridge is your audience being captivated, they're listening to you, how do we move from being a thinker to truly being present? Because when you are present to yourself, your audience will be present to you. So the level, I believe, of connection that you have with yourself is the level of connection that you will have with your audience. So how do you become more connected with you? One of the ways that we bridge is through asking questions. I love the concept of a thought experiment where we're not attached to the outcome. We're just curious and we're passionate about discovering. So asking quality questions of yourself, but also asking quality questions of your audience. Now remember that a quality question is a question that illuminates. It makes somebody think. It brings the abundance versus eliminates. Eliminates is when you're just looking for one particular thing. It's a closed question versus an open question. So my first tip when asking questions to the audience would be ask open questions. And remember to truly be present. Truly be present to what the person is saying in that moment. And you can only be truly present if you are in the moment. I heard once, and I really felt this was, I'll never forget it, is being present is always where your body is. So what is the bridge between the thinker and the observer? The bridge is being present to where your body is. That's why I like the breath so much when you're on stage and you're presenting. Take a deep breath and bring your awareness to your physical body. Feel your feet. Feel your breath. Be in your body. And maybe invite the audience to do the same thing, because your audience is going to mirror. So if you're taking deep breath, your audience might take a deep breath. If you're drinking something, you're inviting public speaking, hands up. Or you could do a poll. So hands up, who of you are here from South Africa? Who of you are here from the States? Who of you here are... So you're basically asking questions and you're engaging your audience. So getting them to raise their hand. Another way, not necessarily asking questions, but of course is movement. Getting them to turn and to ask somebody a question. So you're getting them involved as best as you can. Why are asking questions so important? Because remember, you're wanting to engage them. You're wanting them to become present to themselves. And the more you get them to think about themselves, the more that they're going to really remember your talk and be engaged in your talk. Because everyone loves thinking about themselves. Everyone loves being asked questions. Everyone loves expressing themselves. So asking them a question and then getting them to share it with the person sitting next to them is a really great way of getting them to be awake, be interested, be engaged, and to reflect, because that's what presence is. Being present to you, being present to yourself, getting them to reflect. So how can you get them to reflect? You want to get them to generate curiosity about you, but more importantly, curiosity about themselves, because it's not what you're saying that they're going to remember, but how you are making them feel. You know, you want to inform, you want to inspire, and that's going to depend on the level that they have connected with themselves. So today, we're looking at how to boost your presence on stage, how to boost your presence when you're in a meeting. The way to boost your presence, we said, is to bridge the bridge, or to walk over the bridge from the thinker to the observer. The observer can only be found in the present moment. So you're bringing yourself into the present moment by asking yourself questions, firstly, by being in your body, And secondly, by asking yourself questions, reflecting on how you feel, but not identifying with it, but also getting your audience to that space where they are reflecting on how they feel. I hope you have learned something about how you can boost your presence, maybe a little something about how you can connect more with yourself. Remember that this video forms part of a series that I am doing on the traits of a charismatic presenter and how to develop them. If you want to find out more, just put the word charisma in the comments below and we will share more information with you. Have a wonderful day, guys, and remember to always be charismatically you. We'll see you in the next episode. Cheers, guys. Bye.